Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here to a very nice Central Florida day, 59 degrees, only going to reach a high of 65. I have procured a piping hot beverage from a local convenience store just over here on the corner. Davenport is where I am beginning this. I'm currently 20 miles from Kissimmee, 36 miles from Orlando, according to that sign. You can see a little bit of traffic cruising down that highway there. I'm going to try to stay off of major thoroughfares today and just show some of the small areas away from the theme parks, away from the metropolises that Florida has to offer. This water tower is one said item, but there will be others. I'm just gonna commute around, you know, drive 100 miles or so in different directions, maybe do a circle and just showcase what some of the stuff there is that you might not know about. Sometimes I'll do this on occasion. I like the back roads, the nooks and crannies of areas. I'm inviting you to join me. Shall you? Now this place over here, this building known as the Brenner Block, used to house a thrift store. I used to be quite the aficionado of used merchandise. I would purchase things, collect things. I still do to some degree, but nothing like how I used to. This place here, however, I did spend a little money in. They used to have quite the collection of horror film VHS out of print movies. Now this has probably been 20 years ago or so. It has hence closed. It was a treasure trove of video cassettes, used video store, you know, things that never were put out on DVD at the time. There are some DVDs and Blu-rays that have never been put out, and you have to only get those movies on video cassette. And that place had a lot of them. This is Matador, Florida, oranges and grapefruits. It still states thrift store. And some other lettering. You can see the, you know, some of the word of the thrift has decomposed. But there's some other lettering, some other writings there etched into the wall, which are very difficult to make out. Can't really tell what that says so much. Yeah, this brings back memories of my VHS collecting days, none of which I have anymore. In fact, if you kind of peek in there, you can see there are still some items that are left over. There's some signage here saying that this is not safe to be rooting around in. Yeah, look at that. Brenner Block. And not a lot of stores around, but there is this Sunoco on the corner. This is where I picked up this coffee, and the downtown section has this grouping of local businesses, a hardware store, quality service, great prices is what the sign says. On the other side of this structure is a light. Sometimes the traffic will back up. You know, a few cars, maybe a dozen at most. This antique store has some plants out front where there's this gnome down here, but it says free weeds, pull your own weed. Oh, look at this. This is the Wicked Witch right here. That's very clever. If it was pushed up against the door, it would be very similar to the Wizard of Oz. This is the hardware store around the opposite direction, and there's an embroidery shop and a party shop. Now I do love old architecture and the way things were built back in the day, like this tile work. Well, two different types of tile work here. I don't know, I just love this kind of stuff. Oh, over here in the window, Hidden Mickey. We are not far. Here's the barbershop. Get a regular haircut for $11. Yeah, look how this is just right on the thoroughfare here. I love it. Walk-ins welcome. It says open, but I don't believe they're currently open as of the recording of this. This is a Sunday. A lot of small towns, things are not open on Sundays. There's also a hair center right next door, so you have, oh, look at this. That is good. Yeah, love it. There's another building up here that's pretty historical. I'll show over here on this other corner. There we go, there's the current time. 10:23 a.m. Church bells in the distance are ringing. This is part of the Blue Star Memorial Highway. Street sign up there says Haines City, 4 miles. I will head over that direction momentarily. This is called The Point. You see the inscription there on the side. I believe this was a flagpole, which at the moment is not occupied by that item. Yeah, this is very, very cool. This is a throwback. The Point. Mike and Joe's. A place called the Menninger Corporation. Oh, look down here on the very end. This appears to be a mechanic shop with that old truck out front. Well, it's not a truck, I think it's a Bronco out front. Yeah, I love that. 1943, serving the sports industry since 1943. And didn't realize that City Hall is just adjacent to that property. It says 1927 on that one. Probably at one point there were gas pumps right out here. I gotta squeeze through these poles. There are probably gas pumps, maybe? Maybe not. It goes along the side here, down the corner of this road. Pretty cool looking building, right? All right, Haines City's next, 4 miles ahead. We'll go back to the car. It's a long walk, I'm gonna drive it. Noticing from this angle too, it's called The Mart. See the tile work, and in the middle of that tile work, on the corner, it says The Mart. That's the name of this little section of shops. Now this is very interesting looking as well. Oh, you can hear the train in the distance. I believe this is not being utilized at the moment. But yeah, take a look at this. Pretty neat. Got the bell up there. I like that. There is a moose right there. This is the Haines City Moose Lodge, just on the outskirts of town. The fascinating thing about this is that it sits right on the corner of this road, which might be tough to make out the sign from here as I drive through the little dirt parking lot. Right on the threshold of Haines City and Davenport is Mystery House Road, where there used to sit, many, many years ago, a mystery house. One of those unusual buildings that would kind of throw off your equilibrium a little bit, and you wouldn't know which way you were kind of walking. It appeared as if you were walking down, but you're really walking up and sideways, and the gravity was all kind of confusing. It was right here on this corner, which is now orange groves across from the Moose Lodge. Nothing left but a street sign. Long gone. This tire shop utilized this metal circular building. Kind of reminds me of what was drawn in Pixar's Cars. It was a building similar to this. And just about a block away is Bob's. This is Bob here, the mascot of Bob's Auto and Muffler Shop, which not even 10-digit dialing, still 7-digit dialing. Shows how long this place has been in business. Is this supposed to be a reindeer of some sort, or a deer? Well, I guess a reindeer is a deer. Yeah, look at that. It's made up of engine parts. Well, muffler part. It's a muffler. Just kind of zipping through Lake Hamilton area. Kind of hilly. Well, hilly for Central Florida. Pulled over here at the corner of State Road 17 and Kokomo Road. This little store around the side has a pretty neat mural with some citrus trees, which I just drove through. A lot of orange groves. The road went directly through them. And also fascinating, next to this Western Union sign is a little Coca-Cola advertisement spray painted right there on the brick. Yeah, look over there, all orange groves. Lots of them. Just off Broadway, West Main Street and North Broadway is the Lake Hamilton Post Office over there. making this the downtown section, the fire department down on that other corner. Oh, that's great. That's the bank with the pillars. Yeah, that building has seen some years. Still standing. Most likely not used as the bank. Well, maybe it is used as the bank. If it's still operational, that would be amazing. Oh, nice. Is that the relics of an old shell sign right there? Kind of the skeleton of it? I think it might be. Yeah. The sign's gone, but the metal framing is still there. Take a look. Historic Dundee Depot. Off in the distance is the water tower, which has, it's spelled D-U-N-D, part of the Citrus Association. Kind of a clever way to spell it for that company. There is a train depot here. You can still see it has the Atlantic coastline, one of the cars right here on the rails. Yeah, sitting right here. They have moved it back to one of its original spots, meaning that this is a historic building used back in the day, no longer operational. This particular depot is not being utilized at the moment, but they have the lights here around the side. Oh, there's a little placard over here. Oh, check it out. The sidewalk also represents train tracks already. Or this could have been where the original tracks were. Corner of First Street. Yeah, you know, it might have gone along where those sidewalks are now. I'm just speculating. But possibly because the sidewalk kind of goes in the same type of perimeter. There's the bay door. There's a little cart there used for luggage. The ticket windows here. The passenger depot built in 1912, the first depot on the Haines City to Sebring line of the Atlantic Coastline Railroad. Most of Dundee's early growth can be attributed to that railroad. It says open, but they are not open today. This is dated 2002. Has the train numbers 3232 northbound, southbound. Here are the hours. As of the recording of this, it is Sunday. They are open on Thursdays and Saturdays. Oh, look up here. Look at the drapes there. They have little trains on them. I must admit, over the years I've done a lot of exploring around Central Florida. I have never been in the town of Dundee before. This is the first time I have stood on the soil of Dundee. I don't know how I missed it. For some reason I just take roads around. I've been in this general vicinity, but never have I been to Dundee. I like this railroad station. Well, dang. This is a place I always wanted to stay way back in the day. I would pass by here and think, oh, one day later in life I will book a room. But it looks as if it's closed. The famous Chalet Suzanne. You see the lettering there. Very, very faded. It was a very unique place. Did not realize that it had closed. Now, the road leading in is still accessible. However, there is a sign stating, "Do not enter." It's closed, letting everyone know. It is a private drive. The owners might still live back there, and they are requesting no one head down it. Wow. Did not realize that this had gone away. The little light up there is blowing in the wind. The Chalet Suzanne. It's probably been about half a decade since I've even stopped by here, maybe even longer. Maybe, gosh, maybe even closer to 7 or 8 years. Private drive, please stay out, closed. Ah, dang. It was a neat place. Kind of tucked away, back over that tree line. Made it over to downtown Lake Wales. This is a rather large painting of some citrus with a butterfly perched on one of those oranges there. The State Bank represented on the side of this one as well. This is very detailed. You can even see the clock here in the middle. Non-working clock, it's part of the painting. And I'm gonna walk over to the Grand Hotel. Maybe it's the Hotel Grand. But this building, which is not open, has an interesting history. It's a very impressive skyscraper, you could call it. One of the first skyscrapers in Central Florida. Look at this bunny communicating with this bird. So cute. At the end of this road is the building that I'm walking up to. Oh, look at that bird going by. Hello, bird. There's a lot of history around here. The Bullard Building, circa 1919, and the Grand Hotel down there at the far end. Well, this place over here looks like a castle with the brickwork. There's another painting here of a lake and a river. Opened in 1927, also known as the Dixie Wales-built Hotel. It had a few very famous owners, including Mary Pickford and Gloria Swanson. That's right, Norma Desmond herself was one of the owners of this, and the governor, well, the then governor at the time. I have to say, it's a real bummer that the restoration has not moved on a little faster. It is on the National Register of Historic Places, and there was a strong rumor that it was going to reopen and, you know, been fixed up. This has been going on for quite a while. In fact, it's been years since I've stopped by here, and there hasn't been any progress from what I see. They still have the fence up. This magnificent piece of history in Lakewood, downtown Lake Wales, the center point, if you will. Water tower stating City of Lake Wales, just in view. That's another very unique building right next to it. You don't see any 1920s skyscrapers still in existence. This is one of the few. It has been said that it was, at the time, the tallest skyscraper, if you will, in Florida or Central Florida. Nonetheless, it was a tall one. Would have been very noticeable from anyone from that era. Would have been the talk of the town here on the corner of Park Ave. What's the other road? This is on First Street and Park Ave. I'm gonna walk around to the other side. Take a look. Oh, here we go. At the time, these famous Hollywood actors shared stock in the Wales-built hotel. Left to right, Gloria Swanson, Lila Lee, Mary Pickford, Thomas Megan, and Governor John W. Martin. Right there. Take a look at that. It's neat they have this little information placard as well. In its early years, the hotel brought Central Florida not just a touch of Hollywood, but a bit of intrigue and even scandal. Sounds pretty dramatic. It does appear as if some sort of window woodworking has transpired. It looks in a little better shape than I recall, but still not open. Now, I would like to, at some point, this is kind of one of those things that I've always wanted to get inside of. You'll have to have legitimate permission. Maybe one day I will be allowed to wander around in the halls and in the rooms of this historical Lake Wales skyscraper. But as of right now, I must be patient. But I don't know if patience is going to be a virtue in this case, because it might never open. Nonetheless, it is still, I'm glad it's here. I'm glad it's on the National Register of Historic Places, because this is something that all should behold, even from a distance. Wow, just look at the arched windows all the way up top there. Pretty nice, right? Magnificent, majestic, if you will. Never in my past visits, or if I did notice it, I had forgotten. The pool is still back here. Some of the silent film stars that own this probably could have been caught catching a little dip right there in the pool. That is awesome. Still has the tile work and everything. Gloria Swanson, best known for her role in Sunset Boulevard. I would say that this building, even modern day, over 100 years old, is still ready for its close-up, Mr. DeMille. Is it not? Yeah, I love the fact that this pool is still back here. That's so good. And just so you know, this is, you don't want to go trouncing around in there. That's something you don't want to mess around with. There were cones. But just look at the carvings there along the little banister, the edge. Yeah, I want to go up top there. Maybe one day. One day. Oh, those windows are open. All the windows are open up there. Huh. It is right across from the post office and Cliffs, which has a mural there with some of the Florida wildlife on it. Very nice. Also noticing, you turn down this road, there's another relic of the past written up there. Kind of painted on those bricks. It's another hotel. Tough to make out, but I believe it says something about private rooms with something, maybe a kitchen, restrooms. Yeah, there's also some accommodations in that building also. As I start driving away, noticing that this is an American Legion at 43 West Park Ave, is very Hollywood in style as well. It's just next door, well, about a block away. Okay, heading out of Lake Wales. There's a bunch of cows way over there. Hello, cows. Probably can't hear me all the way from here, and you know, the road noise. Just want to say hi though. Have a good day, cows. Oh, they're way over there in those trees, in those pine trees. Okay, see you later, cows. While I was out and about, I thought, you know what, I should go by Bartow to the My Girl house. Well, one of the homes that was used in the film My Girl, right here on the corner. Stanford Street and Hendry Ave, as seen there. The Sultan Fuss home and parlor still looks the same all these years later. It's gone through a few different owners. I believe last time I was here, which has been a heck of a long time ago, it was a bed and breakfast. I don't believe it is anymore. I was lucky enough to get inside a while back to the filming locations. They're very detailed of all the spots. Went to the tree where Macaulay Culkin shared a kiss. And this was one of the many spots, but probably the most noticeable. Would be a neat place to own. You could just picture her sitting right up there on those very stairs. Same ones. Not going to go any further. As with some of the other spots that I have visited today, there is this signage here. I'm going to abide by that. Yeah, this is awesome. Always makes me happy coming by here. Even though it's been, gosh, probably 6-7 years, maybe more, maybe less, give or take a year. I can almost picture Veda running out of there. You know, that iconic moment. He can't see without his glasses. He can't see without his glasses. Very sad. Runs out into the yard right over there. They use quite a bit of this, including around the back, which looks like there's a little demolition and cleanup back here. And they're doing a little painting. I'm glad this is still standing. I'm glad this is still here. The sidewalk ends right up here. That's interesting. The sidewalk is going to end right here. This tree is in the way. Okay, you can see around the back. I believe there was a tuba scene back here, if I remember correctly. It's been a few years. And there's a little moss and grass growing on top of that roof, a little guest house in the back. All right, moving on. Bartow, Florida, the My Girl house, right here. The Sultan Fusses. Worth stopping off at if you're in the area. And if you like the movie, if you've seen the movie. Some haven't seen it. I'm standing directly under this moss and the wind is blowing. The moss is kind of like starting to, maybe it's not good to be standing underneath this. There might be some insects, little itchy insects that might plop down into my eyes or onto my skin. Okay, moving on. Behind this housing development next to this tree, right over here, you could find America's oldest man, Charles Smith, who was born on July 4th. So that's interesting. On July 4th of 1842, and look at the date of his passing, October 5th, 1979, making him well over 130 years old. Now, that seems kind of unheard of, does it not? But that's what it states. Charlie Smith. As the story goes, he never had the money to purchase this headstone, so the town designated it shortly after, a few years after he passed. So would this tombstone be almost that old as well? Or it looks like a newer piece. Could be wrong. Yeah. 137 years old, if I'm doing the math correctly. Charlie Smith, America's oldest man. That's true, Bigfoot, covering a lot of ground today. Yeah, it just felt like driving around. So that's what I'm doing. I don't think I've ever seen a Hungry Howie's that looks like that. Yeah, that's the first for me, a Hungry Howie's looking like that. Here's a good one. This car wash guy waving everyone in. Performance car wash, touch-free. This kind of pulled me in like a tractor beam off the side of the road. I'm not going to get a car wash, but I did want to document the signage. In fact, I don't even know if it's open. That's it right there. That's the car wash. Now in Lakeland. Yeah, made it about 15 miles or so. Decided just to kind of head over to Lakeland. Well, why not? Just on a vast circle tour with no real rhyme or reason. However, it is always nice to say hello to the Southgate shopping center here at the Publix Plaza. Best known, I was gonna say best removed, but I'm not gonna remove myself from the Edward Scissorhands filming locations, which is how I, and probably many others, recognize this place here, which I've been here many times. It's been a while. It's been a few years. But I kind of want to go back to this back corner and see if anything has changed since my last visit. And from what I can tell, it looks as if it has changed. Anthony Michael Hall, Winona Ryder were right here, giving themselves some hugs. And Johnny Depp, Edward Scissorhands, was seen right here. He was kind of sad, kind of jealous of their affection. Yeah, down here, this has changed. This was all glass windows. That's where Edward ran out. Oh yeah, completely different than it was. Well, gosh, it's probably been 4 or 5 years since I've been here too. Seeing some new things today, but also visiting some spots that I've been to in the past. Yeah, this was all glass here. Here's a kind of an iconic angle where Tim Burton got, I'm very shadowed out. Tim Burton got the camera very, very low down for an angle here where two of the characters were walking right along there. Yeah, I've in the past, myself and friends have documented these spots in very, very, much more detail than what I'm showing right now. But you definitely want to, if you're in Lakeland and near the shopping center, it's always neat to see, a little nostalgia here, even without the filming location aspect of it. This is a great piece of architecture. Okay, moving on. I don't really know where I'm going. I'm just roaming. I gotta start heading back to Celebration at some point. Get out of I'm lurking in the shadows right now. Yeah, this is so cool. Glad to see this impressive signage still here. Yeah, there's another very fascinating Hungry Howie's Pizza and Subs. Look at that relic. This building right off of I-4 is so futuristic looking, isn't it? Remember where they were building this a while back. Looks like it's completed now. It's like a domed, very interesting looking dome style over there. Made it back to Celebration. Covered some miles today, that is for sure. Always like this section. These buildings over in this area. That's gonna do it for today. If you're new here, please subscribe. By doing so helps keep you in the loop, updated on future uploads here on this channel. If you enjoyed this particular episode, give it a big thumbs up. Lets me know you care. I'll see you in the next video. There's some new construction up here. New apartments are happening. The vlog is over.